Good evening, one and all. Trust you're all well and keeping safe. Welcome to round 5 of the CXR GTE Season 4 race. And tonight we are racing at the Nurburgring on the BES WEC version. Today, as usual, with Ruben and Phil helping me in the commentary box. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Evening.
And race control, as usual, with Aaron, Dick Craig in tonight, and Neil.
I believe they are.
Our three musketeers in there. So today, weather's a little cooler, 18 degrees air temperature and 19 on track. Good track, this one, guys. What are your thoughts for tonight?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I don't think we've ever done a race here since we've been racing on iRacing and doing any kind of racing, I guess, for a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. New circuit, and lots of drivers on track, so could be something different.
Excellent.
It's a great track. I mean, it's got some fast sectors, technical ones, nice chicanes, overtaking possibilities. Turn 1 is always a good one after the long main straight. So yeah, really looking forward to this one tonight.
Good. So the amateurs are first out on track for quali. Just give you a quick update on league standings for the amateurs. Juan Mael Santabaya is currently leading the championship in the amateurs with 87 points ahead of Kieran Smart on 77, who's ahead of Carlos Ruiz on 69. We've had 4 different winners in 4 races, so I don't know if that trend will continue tonight, but we shall see. Ooh, a couple of guys just losing the back there by the looks of it.
That was a bit of a spin, wasn't it?
You gotta love those cold tires.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's because it's a little bit cold here, so I think it's going to take about 3 laps before your tyres are actually going to get anywhere near optimal temperature.
Yeah, well, the weird thing with this whole tire model, we do know it's colder when you're coming out of the pit, but at some parts of the track it can feel like they are sort of up to temp. It feels like you've got the grip, and then maybe pushing a little bit too hard, and it's just all of a sudden it snaps and it's gone. But yep, still you gotta take care of those tires up the temps and try to get them in the right window. Set those fast laps.
And we're just waiting for the guys to complete their out lap, and then we can get underway with qualifying, which I believe Daniel Sedgley, I think, is our first driver out on his qualifying lap. There we go, live back on with just the track sounds. Let me know in the chat if the volumes are too low for iRacing, or if they're too high, or the commentary is too loud. Because yeah, we've made some changes this week, so I've now been able to split everything up, and we should be able to give you a better mix in the stream.
Very good. A little bit of locking up there. A little bit bumpy downhill before turn 1. You really gotta watch your brake pressure there. We've got Benjamin Johnson putting in a 153.202 for the Venomworks Porsche. Prado quite close. There's the Kieran Smart putting himself on P3. Now Arnold Channonier putting himself on P3, but of course it's still the first out laps and the first time laps.
Chris Needham just jumping into pole there with a 153.0. I think the fastest lap we saw in practice was a 150.0, wasn't it, from Ismail Martel? So I'm not sure how big the gap is going to be between the ARM drivers and the Pro drivers, but Yeah, I mean, it's currently sitting at 3 seconds at the moment, but I believe the times are going to tumble down by the end of this qualifying session. Everyone's got 10 minutes, so...
Well, actually, Martel put in a 1:49.9.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And I can tell you that's quick. Proper
Yes.
quick. And that's another thing with the new tire model. If you've ever driven the old tire model and you've set times on this track and you put up your nice relative boxes during practice and you see your optimal lap times and your fastest lap times from the previous tire model and that sort of stuff, yeah, throw them away. Throw them away. It's not quite the same anymore as it was. You gotta love some orange wheels, by the way. My fellow Dutchman, René Bosje, in the BMW M8.
One of my favourite colours, orange. No wrong with a bit of orange.
I think it does kind of blend well with the... oh, that was very close in the final corner there from Kieran Smart. I think it does blend very well with the AM signs on the actual car. So, yeah, no problems with that one from me.
Here's for the follow, big ol'. Well, Phil, tell him what you told René about the orange wheels, though.
I said they look quite nice.
They look quite nice, exactly. Colored wheels look quite nice. That's what he said. Then I use CXR green on the same nice Porsche, just same CXR green, and it's
too much of a clash. Too much of a clash.
Too leery.
Too much green.
Yeah, that's funny stuff. Anyways, you see Santabaya putting in a, what was it, a 49, no, sorry, 49, a 52.6, about half a second away from Kieran Smart, who's currently running in pole, 52.1. Putting in some good laps. He's only 6 thousandths of a second slower than the time we did in practice, so that's quite good. We see a 3/10 of a improvement on the practice time that Chris Needham did, and Santabaya in practice did a 152.0. So if he can try to set a same sort of lap there, then yeah, he may be good for pole position. But then again, what you do in practice, you still have to try and duplicate it in qualifying, and that's not always as easy as it looks. Good evening, Yannick. The lights on the side of the car means position. So if there's only one light on the side of the car, it means P1, 2 lights P2, and 3 lights P3. So I'm thinking that's what you're meaning here. Benjamin Johnson in the meantime, P3. With a 152.561. He's only about 200ths of a second behind Chris Needham, so that's quite close. Never see Kieran Smart putting in a 152.0, so he's now created a gap of pretty much half a second to P2, which is, yeah, he's doing good. Doing good.
On board with Ben Charlton, as he unfortunately just loses it as I go on board with him. Commentator's curse completely passed over to Ben. Wait, there.
It wasn't me. Oh. Bit of a shame.
Yeah, so Kieran Smart still holding on to the lead. Chris Needham just behind him with Ben Johnson in just behind him in P3. Look how close that is. 0.022 behind Chris Needham. Santabaya just a 10th off the leader, or sorry, a 10th off Ben Johnson. And
Daniel's actually also 100th of a second.
Yeah, it's super close. Let's have a look at the gap.
Oh no.
Kieran Smart's just got a just over a 4/10 lead on Chris Needham. Ranging all the way back to a 4.6 second lead on Dennis Marsden, who I didn't see him in the practice session, but I'm sure he's done some practice around the circuit. See, that lap time starts to tumble down. The problem there, Mark? Just dropped your tea?
No, I had this last week. I kept getting sort of disconnected from the feed for some reason. But yeah, a technical error, I suppose.
Need some better internet going on there.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got the girth you've got, Phil, obviously, but
Thank you for the
sometimes you've got to make do what you've got, haven't you?
Thank you for the subscription there, Flatout Sim TV.
Cheers, guys.
2 months in a row now, I believe.
Not sure if that's the right terminology.
So it's the end of AM qualifying. Apart
That
from the
went
people,
quick.
who are still out on their lap, though, they can still finish their lap time, and we've got a 5-minute gap before the pro qualifying starts. See people putting in their lap and pulling away on the side of the road.
So we can go.
Antabaya just squeezed in second place there with a 152.2.
Well spotted. So what have you got for
just gone
us?
off track, so it's not going to count.
What have you got for us this week, stats man?
What have I got? Interesting stat of the day? I haven't really. I still maintain there's been a winner in every round in the amateur class, so I'm going to stick with that one this week while it's good.
We're going to go for a new winner.
Yeah, well, that was what I was saying. Tell us who the winners were.
Okie dokie. So round one then, Ruben. A bit of homework for you off the top of your head. Where were we round one? Silverstone, wasn't it?
It was.
Excellent. So Daniel Sedgley won round one. Round two, where were we?
No, you were asking.
Interlagos.
Interlagos.
Oh, okay, well done. Kieran Smart won that one. Round three. Any guesses where we were?
Why is my memory so bad?
Hey, see, that's what has happened when you put people on the spot, you see. So Santabaya won round three anyway. And obviously last week we were at...
Barcelona Historic.
Thank you very much.
And now he puts it up.
Ben Johnson won that, which, quite surprisingly, in the table, he's only 11th. So we know he's had the pace. He's had a pole position before as well. So currently, Mr. Johnson hasn't won a race, I don't believe, or am I doing him a disservice as I'm scrolling through the list? Oh, and he did. He won last week. So the top three at the moment have all actually won a race on the grid. So it must be Mr. Needham's turn to do it.
There we go.
Interesting stat. There you go.
You're going to go with Chris Needham for the win here.
Yeah, to keep it going.
Kenneth Andreasen last week showed some good pace as well. I think he was holding on to P3 for quite a while. So you never know. I mean, he's starting back in P7. Pablo Prado hasn't won a race though, has he?
Nope. No.
No. So I mean, yeah, Pablo could be. Yeah, I think
he's had a fourth is his best so far. He's had a bit of a mixed bag so far this season.
He did have a bit of a misunderstanding with the pit entry wall, if I remember rightly from last week. So, yeah, hopefully he can come back from that mistake and maybe take a podium position at least. So we'll see what he can do.
For that out, Sim TV, kindly remind us that round 3 was at Road America.
Ah, yeah, all very good tracks as well, I might add. Problem when you get old, you can't remember anything.
But I must say, Kieran Smart's pole position time of 151.8, very well done, 3/10 quicker than his practice time. So, yeah, great led by him. Almost 4/10 away from Santabaya. Of course, it's just the quickest in qualifying. Doesn't say anything about the 45-minute race, but very well done by Kieran. Smart, same for Santabaya and Johnson, who were the top 3.
Well, it's all quite close, isn't it? Top 7 within a second. That's always a good indication of what's to come.
But even the people that are in a lower position, it's still quite close to each other. So I'll again expect great battles to see on track. But then again, the pros I think are lining up at the end of the pit entry. We don't have green yet, so they will have to wait at the end of the pit lane for the race control to call it live.
And what are those wheels?
Oh Lord, talk about colour clash. Could be a
I'm
10-second penalty just for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to have a word with some of these drivers.
Drive through.
Well, I must say, even the color on the top of the side window doesn't match. So I mean, I think when the track would go dark, the only thing you can see is the other wheels go around. Cheers, Linus. Thanks for watching as well.
whilst the pros are lining up to burn some rubber for the next 10 minutes, I'll quickly update you guys on the league table. So,
We've got a green flag as well, so
off they go.
be going.
So at the moment, Ismail Martel is currently leading the championship with 97 points, with Andres Fernandez in second on 91. They have a monumental gap to third place, who's Morgan Thompson on 58. And then you've got Tony Blanco just behind Morgan Thompson on 55. So really, I think it's probably fair to say it's a two-horse race. With Martel currently winning or have won 3 of the 4 we have raced so far. Sorry, was I boring you? Everyone's gone quiet.
I think I've just fallen asleep there, Mark. No, okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, you said you wanted stats. There you go, some stats for you. So I can only assume, probably correctly, as Ruben's learning slowly, that it's going to be a two-horse race as usual in this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. You never know. I mean, we did see Ismail Martel make a bit of a spin error before, so although I really don't think it's going to happen in the race. Obviously, during practice, you're trying to push all boundaries, trying to make that little bit of time up. Game's a bit loud. I can turn everything, well, I can turn them down now. It's just, I'm not listening to it back, so I don't hear it. So, yeah, if you guys kind of point it out, I will make some adjustments on the fly. So, here we go then. Let's go on board with Ismail Martel then, as he puts in his first lap of qualifying. Thank you for the follow for us, lol. Love the word lol, I don't know why.
Always makes me laugh when they go, lots of luck. No.
I thought you were about to do the world's worst joke then.
Well, I could do, but even I can't stoop that low. I'll leave that for Ruben.
Need more car engine noises.
Brum brum, beep beep. That better?
I'm hoping that we get it kind of leveled out this week, and then all future streams can kind of stay the same.
No, it's not.
Really nice lines going through there.
He's very low in his driving position, isn't he? Is that a standard field of view thing? Or is that his field of view?
No, this is my... Well,
Oh,
this is...
you're right.
Yeah, be what we're viewing it at. Not what he's viewing it at. He could be on VR, you never know.
So this is where there'll be some interesting possible late braking later in the race on the last chicane.
Let's see, what lap time does he do as his first lap? So he's going to go straight into pole. Yep, there we go. Straight with a 50.5. That is it's quite fast considering even his tyres aren't up to temperature yet. Yeah,
But
so
just for people wondering, Phil, do you want to let them know what the little red flashes are and the little green flashes? I assume it's they've crossed the line but no quicker, or quicker, I presume.
that just means they've jumped everybody below them. So yeah, from now on you'll be able to see when the passes are actually being made. I felt that it wasn't easy to see from the leaderboards, so now it'll be a little bit easier for everybody to see.
And no surprise to see, with nearly 20 minutes gone, that Martel and Fernandez are occupying first and second at the moment. Interestingly, Kieran Smart from the amateurs is third, but we still have a number of the pro guys to put actual lapping. But we need to get a rig on. Quite a long track this one. Realistically, the lap they're on +2.
Still, what, 5 minutes to... And then plus, if they cross over the line, they can still finish that lap. So.
Is everyone excited with the sports resuming now? With F1 starting in a couple of weeks?
Kind of forgot all about it all.
Have you? Oh.
Yeah, what even is sport?
Oh,
it's all about esports. It's all about esports and racing.
Well, there has been a hell of a lot, so it could have been a very good opportunity for them to showcase.
Yeah, the 24 hours of Le Mans was ran the weekend just gone on R Factor 2. It was the official kind of WEC FIA that did the whole production. They had the whole race control, doing everything, which looked absolutely superb. Had about 4,000 monitors watching every single driver, all the inputs from every single corner. I might get like a video wall installed on my room so that maybe we can do that in the. Well, if anyone would like to donate about £80,000, then just for the TVs, yeah. Free. And I'd need about, well, if we were going to do that on iRacing, I'd need about 50 accounts just to cover every single driver.
Keep you something to do, wouldn't it? So I think tonight, into answering Forged question there, I think, is it 34 or 36 tonight we got? I can't remember.
Tonight we've got 34 drives, 33. I see 33, but could be wrong.
Oh.
Well, actually, no, I do see 34 in the JRT. So,
but we had some late notifications of some of the drivers saying that they couldn't make the race.
Yeah, it's a difficult time at the moment for everybody. Obviously, I mean, I know myself, like, when I start work, it seems to be an hour, 2 hours earlier than what I would normally start work, and then I don't seem to finish work until after when I normally finish work. So, yeah, it's a lot of drivers have got quite a lot to do at the moment. So juggling racing and work life as well. It's difficult, but hopefully everyone's safe and well. And hopefully everyone.
See what the new norm brings, I suppose, won't we?
Yeah, it's hopefully we can all get back to a little bit more normality.
Well, the weather's certainly turned back to normal now, so it's raining.
Oh, is it? Not in my neck of the woods.
Is it not?
I've got the air conditioner on. It's
I don't live in the heavens like you, Phil. So us peasants living on the ground. Answering Mighty Dane's question, I don't think it's most pros are missing. It's the split was fairly even, wasn't it, at the start from sign up? So looking at the numbers, it's roughly the same. So.
Yeah, it was about 25 each to start with. We have lost a few drivers who've had to drop out for work reasons.
Yeah. House moves and stuff.
Yeah, house moves. Loads of different things going on. So yeah, it was inevitable, but that's why you have a larger sign up, so that when you come to a race where some people have to miss out on the race, you've still got 30 drivers that are still taking.
Still a big grid, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of action.
While we're talking about that, Martel just puts in another fastest lap, a 50.110.
Only
Not
30.
quite as quick as he was in practice, but
yeah, only 30 seconds to go as well. Mark Southgate goes into P6, pushes Tony Blanco.
I'll met him.
No, Agustin Vera Blanco, sorry. We do have 2 Blancos. I was going to change Augustine's name actually, just so it made it a bit easier for us.
Oh, we've got another question for you, Phil. Do we got any webcams tonight?
We do have some webcams, but I think yeah, so you see Chris Needham and Arden Shanaday there. Cheers for the subscription there, Mighty Dane, and also Duncan Kirby.
Who's apparently looking on his phone instead
He
of
is.
driving.
Is he
Just like real
qualifying?
life, isn't
Yeah,
it?
is he qualifying whilst on his phone? Let's get the police involved here.
He isn't driving, so
Multitask.
that's good. And
Yeah,
Kieran,
they've all got looks for radio, you know, face for radio, as they say. So you're not going to get offended. We've magically blanked out their faces.
but it is quite true what he's saying, that all the 3 drivers are using VR.
Well, we have someone here who used to use VR, Phil.
Yeah, I kind of fell out of love with VR. I mean, I think it was just the longer endurance races. I just didn't enjoy wearing it on my head for so long. But then moving back to just, well, I didn't have triples before then, but like going to triples just did help me a lot. Being able to sit in the rig for so long, because yeah, when you're doing a 24-hour race, a lot of time to be staring at screens and.
Ask Neil how it did help you. By the way, Mighty Dane, cheers for the subscription.
Buckland goes into P7. So yeah, just gonna start just in front of Kieran Smart, our top qualifying AM driver, which is yeah.
I told you it was a good lap.
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? It's 51.8.74. So what, 1.8 seconds behind the pro pole sitter. But yeah, I mean that's a fully respectable time, sorry. Right, we'll just wait for the information to come through, and then I can get all of the qualifying up on screen so we can confirm it to everybody, and that should be available any second now. We're just waiting for qualifying to fully finish. I hate this bit where it makes you wait for stuff. You just want to get on with it.
Let's get it on.
While we're waiting for that, where are we next week? We're at Monza next week?
Looking forward to next week already. You're springing it on me. Let's have a little look, shall I?
Sebring International is next week, then it's
Yep.
Monza, yeah, so...
Then it's Monza.
I must say, I'm really looking forward to round 8 Daytona, an evening race.
Night race.
Or night race, yeah.
Yeah, it just feels age. Don't worry about that, Kieran. Right, so grid formation for the pros. We've got Ismail Martel on pole, Andres Fernandez second, Tony Blanco third, Benitez fourth, Morgan Thompson fifth, Adam Southgate sixth, Pele Hogland seventh, Austin Blanco eighth, Jamie Fierro ninth, Jose Caballero in 10th, Marco Suazo 11th, Edward Lack in 12th, Duncan Kirby 13th.
And for the AMs, we got Kieran Smart, P1, Juan Santabaya, P2, Ben Johnson, P3, Chris Needham, P4, Daniel Setchley, P5, Pablo Prado, P6, Kenneth Andresen, P7, Tim Rutten, P8, Matt Acton, P9, René Bosche, P10, P11, Daniel Merchant, and P12, Matthew Hodges, P13, Arnaud Channonier, P14, there we go, Ben Charlton, P15, Jason Headington, P16, Yuri Pepijn Evers, P17, Damien Schaaf, P18, Miles Owens, P19, Dennis Meisner, P20, Carlos Ruiz, and P21, Jonas Gillis.
There we go, we just wait for these guys to start rolling, which I don't think will be too long away from now. Should be about 10 seconds away.
So, quick predictions then, guys. Let's put the commentator's curse on a few.
No, I'll leave that to you guys. I'm not going to do it.
You got the best track record of all of us, Ruben.
Exactly, and that's why. And that's why. Well, in all fairness, though, for the pros, again, it's Martel leading the way in front of Fernandez. I do hope that they can have another battle like they did at Interlagos, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Well, I think Martel, of course, is the main contender for a win here, but you'll never know what happened. And for the AMs, well, it would be quite nice if we could get another winner again, like you said earlier, Mark. So I already forgot who all the race winners were. So yeah, let's see. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it as well because commentator's curse.
It's a short run up as well to the flag, so Ismail Martel is probably going to put his foot down any second now and get this race started. There he goes, I believe. Yes. Has he gone?
We're going.
So from memory, turn one nice tight right-hander, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Let's hope they're all sensible here then. So we're off.
See, one of the Fennerworks Porsches nice on the inside, but so far so good. Oh, and I think Adam Southgate just had a little incident there. They were going 3 wide into turn 2.
There's a few going wide trying to avoid issues.
With some issues going on into turn 3 though.
I think Hilly Hogland and Adam Southgate caught up in something. Possibly even Jeremy Fiero, I'm not sure 100%.
Go. So that helps. Kieran Smart now moved up into P4 overall. Obviously still holding the lead in the AM series with Juan Manuel Santabella only sat in P2. Who's in P3? That would be Ben Johnson.
I think we're missing 2 or 3 pro drivers so far in the timing.
Well, there's a few that have gone to the back. I think there was some contact in T2 or 3. There's a couple of them shot down the leaderboard. So I think Pele Hogland is one of the pros. Duncan Kirby's near the back. Pablo Park, he's an amateur. Jamie Fuera, I think, is in the pit, and he was in the top 6 or 7.
You see the incident that involved Adam Southgate. Not sure if there was a little bit of contact. A couple of drivers doing well to avoid it. And here we're coming up to the other incident into turn 3.
Oh wow, we got.
Ooh.
Just a minor tap on the right rear side of the car, but was enough to turn them over. One of the RWC drivers who had a spin. Is in P5 overall as an AM driver, the leading AM driver. Currently doing a great job keeping up with the top 4. But as to be expected, Martel leading the way for Fernandez and Thompson in 3rd place.
Race settled down a little bit. Car sounds too high. Okay, yeah. Ruben, you did sound a little bit quiet then for some reason, but...
Well, if I would be any closer to my mic, I would probably have it in my mouth and eating it up, so...
There you go,
I'll spare you that one.
Let me, yeah, let me just turn down the game sounds.
In the meantime, we're looking at a great battle between Jose Caballero, and I think the driver behind is Blanco against BMW. Blanco's gonna have a look on the inside of Caballero into turn 1. That comes down to who's braking latest. It's all clean, but
Pretty tight.
it's almost looked like Caballero was losing 2 places.
I was going to say, it looked like left the door open there a little bit.
And still got Suazo on the outside though, but he's maintaining a good line. Suazo going a bit too wide there into turn 3, so Caballero keeps his position, but he lost 1 to Blanco.
There was a little bit of confusion earlier. Is there a new model for performance tonight or something, or some amendments to the aeros or something?
No, there was a bit of confusion over the tyres because there was literally an update today. But when I checked through, not one of the GTRs was updated. GTE cars was updated. So
oh, okay.
A little bit
So
of a
it shouldn't
lock-up.
affect any of the setups that they've got because it's all custom, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they should be absolutely fine. There should be no changes to these cars. There were some bop changes for the weekend, but that's not going to affect this because there's no balance of performance applied.
Oh, so what was that for then? What were they nerfing this time?
I can't remember what the actual full details were, but
About time they gave the old Fezzer an upgrade, isn't it?
I think it has been calling out for one for quite a while now, but yeah, still the same.
It was like that with the Ford GT, wasn't it? It was too fast, then nerfed, and then it got another tweak. And
Bit of a mistake there from Ismail Marcel. Actually finds himself back down in P3 now.
Ooh. Well, there you go. We were talking about it. Anything can happen. Just misjudged his braking point into the last turn. And we've got a very nice battle there, though, between Suazo and Caballero. Just behind, between Suazo and I think it's Santabaya, isn't it? Current second place in the AMs.
Well, he was just behind them. It's Marco Prado and Jose Caballero.
Caballero, yeah. And in front of them, it's Kieran Smart, current AM leader, P5 overall, P1 for the AMs. And it seems that his pace is just a little bit slower than the pro guys, though. So, yeah, behind him, it's forming a nice little train of cars, as we can see. It's Ed Leck for the CHR Racing and Fords as well, who seems to be able to close down the gap to the cars in front. So, it's going to look like we've got a train of about, what is it, 7, 8 cars?
Yeah, about that. Dennis Meister having a big spin there. Just a full double loop. Back on the track with absolute style. Keeps himself going.
Well, we don't see any damage to the front spoiler as well, so I think he's getting lucky there. Seeing that group of cars coming out onto the main straight looks amazing. What happened with Kieran Smart though, as he dropped back to second place? Not quite sure what happened there, but it's Santabaya leading the AMs now.
Yeah, I can't see any off-track notifications on my display. So yeah, I can't go back and review that one, unfortunately.
Well, let's have a little look-see what was going on. Looking at it, he was overtaken into turn 1 by at least 2 of the pro drivers, and I think Santabaya was just smart to follow him through, which made Kieran Smart lose the leading position in the AM. So nothing happened there. Just actually Santa Baia being smart, following the pro drivers through on Kieran Smart.
Yes, this battle for E4, E5 in class still going on, which is good. Hopefully this lasts all the way through the race. Obviously the pits are gonna change everything probably, but some people, some drivers seem to nail their absolute pit stops, and some just seem to
Lose out.
Yeah, just lose a few seconds.
Yep. So
But
it's
it can't-
Martel currently in P2, sorry Phil,
that's
putting in
fine.
the fastest lap time as well, still 5 seconds behind Andres Fernandez, and we see Santa Baia currently putting in the fastest lap for the AMs. By the way, don't forget it as well, thank you for the follow, Alejandro Sim. Nice little view on the back of the Ford GT there. And it's Marco Prado in the red BMW following those two. Oh, nice move on the outside there. Well done. Very, very nice move there by Caballero on, I think it was Blanco, if I'm correct.
Was
And then-
Agustin Blanco from Banzo RX flow?
There you go. So he went for the outside, which turned into the inside for the right-hander. So, nice move, nice overtake. In the meantime, we've got another nice battle going on between Kenneth Andreasen, Matt Acton, and Tim Rutten. So, quite diverse as well. I think it's a BMW against the Ferrari against the Ford, so some onboard action with Arnaud Channonier. We also can see as the left driver of the webcam view, driving for RWC Racing. He's been with us for quite some time, isn't he, Phil?
Yeah, he sure has. All the guys from RWC have been racing with us for years. All nice guys. There's Duncan Kirby going around on the outside. Duncan as a pro driver, Arnaud's just letting him through because that's not his battle. I may as well just try and stay with him.
Well, Kenneth Andreasen still putting in pressure onto Tim Rutten. Tim Rutten, driver for DSRT Racing. Oh, and there we see one of the flat-out SimSport drivers going off track into the wall.
Yeah, that was Miles Owens. A bit of an unfortunate crash there. I don't think he's done too much damage to his car though, so he should be able to carry on going. Need to take that fast repair anytime soon. He can wait until at least his pit stop.
Oh, and Kenneth now on the inside there, or the outside actually, turned into the inside. Tim Rutten lost position and immediately has Matt Acton from Flat Out SimSport as well on the back of him, but all goes well. But we sort of saw a similar action in the AMs as we just saw in the pros with Caballero, so nice job by Kenneth Andreasen putting himself into P6. And it does seem to be that Santa Baia does have the pace over Kieran Smart. He's pulling a gap of, is it correct if I say 3.2 seconds, Phil?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, 3.3 seconds at the moment.
Well, there you go. Adam Southgate, who we saw lost his car, maybe due to some little contact there into turn 2 in the opening lap, but is slowly trying to find his way through the AMs. Currently behind Yuri Papine-Evers, still a couple of seconds to go, but slowly fighting his way through, and Santa Baia putting another quickest lap in there for the AMs. I think it's a 152.1 if I'm reading that correctly. So he's showing some great pace. And also, I think we've got a battle going on for P3. In the pros.
Sorry, I think I just saw a spin. Yeah, I did see a spin.
I did see spin as well.
Probably going to be penalties handed out there. I'm not sure whether people braked for the incident. Obviously, that is for race control to look at and dish out any penalties if they are needed in the race.
Going back to the racing, we've got Morgan Thompson currently in P3, but he's got, and let me pronounce the right one, Tony Blanco right up his ass, if you want to say it like that. And it's Morgan running with the lovely colorful wheels that Phil appreciates so much.
So despite his spin earlier on, Ismail Martel is clawing back some time against current leader Fernandez. Just posted the fastest lap of the race of 150.29 to close the gap down to 3.7 seconds. So he's gained over half a second on that lap.
Marco Prado is actually losing a bit of time with that damage on his car, so you might want to start thinking about pitting. There's only half an hour to go, and there you go, he enters the pit lane.
Oh, he took that a little bit late, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a very difficult pit lane to actually make here, because as soon as you come around that corner, you have to dart over to the right, so you can't really go over. Well, you can go over the curbage a little bit. Curbage? Is that a word? Curbage? It sounds like a vegetable.
Looking at Kieran Smart's car though, that doesn't look quite well, missing his front as well, but I'm not quite sure. Was he involved in that same incident though?
Yeah, I believe he was. I think he was the third car
right
that went around the corner, and yeah, unfortunately it was just a car in the middle of the track. Kenneth Andreasen might have just had a spin there, because I think he's just lost a few positions. He's hit the wall quite hard as well.
Ow, a little bit low still. Ouch.
Yeah. Hard hit.
One of the only fezzes in the track.
It's the same place as where we saw Miles Owens losing the rear of his car, just probably taking a little bit too much speed into that turn, and in the meantime, while you're just coming out of it, you have to consider the right-hander where you have to brake for, so you can see it's a tough one. In the meantime, it's still Morgan Thompson under pressure by Tony Blanco. Morgan doing a great job, at least to keep a little bit of a gap there. But for Kieran Smart to be losing out on the positions, it's now Santobaya still leading the way, but it's put Benjamin Johnson into P2, and Setchley into P3 for the AMs.
Yeah, Kieran Smart's now in the pits, so hopefully that's his pit window. Everyone gets a fast repair in this league, just one. Because unfortunately, I guess with there being so many cars on track, you are going to get involved in an incident at some point. We want everybody to be finishing races, etc. So it's better to just get your car up and running again, and then hopefully the action can commence, and just see where you can fight back to. Especially if you've got Kieran Smart's pace.
Yeah, you'll never know. I mean, we still got, like you said, about 30 minutes of racing to go, a little bit less than 30 minutes, so a lot can happen. But still, looking at, it's nice to see the battle between Morgan Thompson and Tony Blanco. You can really see the different lines that they are both taken, especially into that first sector, turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's quite nice to see, but at the end of the lap, it still seems to be that same little gap that Morgan Thompson is pulling on Tony Blanco. So it may come down to the pit strategy of both of the drivers to see if Tony Blanco can do anything to gain that position from Morgan Thompson.
What are we looking at for pit strategies, you think? Mid-20s again?
Yeah, Yeah, I reckon it will probably be the same. I think it was late. Oh, and there we see a flat-out Tim Sport in the background going fairly wide through. Is it the Schumacher SS?
Yeah, I think it was. Who was?
Daniel Merchant, I think,
It was
wasn't it?
Daniel Merchant. Look. Yeah, just bouncing over the curb there. I'm going to sideswipe the wall a little bit, so I don't think there's going to be too much damage to that car.
Well, I still must say he did quite well to keep it as straight as possible. Yeah, he had some contact, but
Not really lost a great deal there.
didn't look like, no. But now he's behind his teammate in the BMW. And also he seemed to have a nice little battle between René Borsche and Juri Pepijn Evers, two Dutchmen.
Ellie Hoogland is in the pit. Could be the start of the pit window, do you think? Or do you think there's other issues?
Well, I think Jelle, I'm not quite sure what happened with him, but I think he was involved in one of the incidents in the opening lap, so he may have been driving with a little bit of damage on his car and thought, well, let me take it now, I'm into my pit window, I can make the end of the race and take that fast repair. Who knows? But as I said, I'm currently watching a battle between René Borsche and Juri Pepijn Evers. Nice little battle going on there between a Ford GT again and a BMW M8.
And as you said, it René locks up. Lots of tyre smoke there. Just loses a little bit of time. To Yuri just in front of him in the Ford. Not many Fords as well in this.
And there we see Juri Pepijn Evers having an issue pretty much the same as we saw Daniel Merchant having, so that's a free position there for René. And I think Kenneth Andresen is gonna take the position as well from Yuri, so I think he did quite well to keep his car on track though, but I think his heart rate went up. Oh no, there was some contact with the wall. Yeah.
It was, but it was on the side of the car, and I don't think you get too much damage if you manage to kind of slam the side.
Well, let's say this: if it was the new damage model,
there'd be bits flying. Yeah, there'd be bits flying off the car and everything then.
And we see Kenneth Andresen in the meantime pulling into the pit, if I'm correct. No, I'm not. That was Tim
Rutten.
Tim Rutten, I'm sorry. But all that hustle put René Borsche into P7, currently the best Dutchman on track. And yeah, in the meantime, Morgan Thompson's still keeping off Tony Blanco, but he's been under pressure for quite some time now, so doing a great job so far.
Dennis Myers moves up a place there into P15 with Tim Rutten in the pits. Miles Owens also goes into P16.
Cheers for the compliment, by the way, Kieran.
I think Ed Latt's going for a move here on Ben Johnson. Different, one is a pro, one is an AM, but I know Ed will be still enjoying these battles, whether it is for an actual overall position or not. So that still puts him a little bit off Santa Bea. But we do actually have Daniel Sedgley now trying to look for a move around the outside. I'm not sure around the outside is a possible maneuver there, but I'm pretty certain that Ben Johnson will be defending that all the way.
We've got some other drivers coming into the pit now as well. There's Juri Pepijn Evers and Kenneth Andresen both pitting. Juri Pepijn Evers seemed to close the gap down to René Borsche just a tiny bit, but René Borsche is still going on. Still not pitting, and we also got Ruiz now about less than half a second behind Matt Acton. And they are fighting for P5 in the AM class. Here we've got a nice onboard shot from Ben Johnson fighting for P2 with Setchley, flat out sim sport against Venomworks. I always gotta love some love for the driver here following, especially when caps lock's on.
That is some mega caps up there. Yeah, Santa Bay is driving very well. So yeah, Ben Johnson and Daniel Sedgley just behind him. Well, not behind him, but they're having their own little battle. Chris Needham isn't too far away. Let's have a look where he is. Yeah, so just coming up to the final chicane as well.
In the meantime, Ismael Martel still closing down the gap to Andres Fernandez. Maybe not as quick as he hoped to, but he's driving through traffic now as well. But he did set the fastest lap of the race. He won 50.2.
Well, yeah, the gap has now come down to 1.2 seconds. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on this one. These guys don't actually get much stream time just because they're normally so far ahead.
Victim of their own success, isn't it?
Yeah, they did have a great battle actually. Where was it? Interlagos.
Interlagos.
Yeah,
yes.
They were pretty much sat on each other's bumpers the whole entire time. So quite a few people there pitting. Who's that? We've got Mark Southgate, Caballero.
It's Adam, by the way, Phil.
I keep calling him Mark.
Yeah, you do.
Because I'm reading it off this.
Yeah. But yeah, quite a couple of people pitting. But it's going to be interesting though, because we're coming close to that pit entry now. And yeah, I mean, what if Fernandez has a better strategy than Martel? Then will he be able to increase that gap again, or will Martel have a blindingly fast pit stop? It's Martel coming in and Fernandez still going on. So, but it's Martel being behind. I'm not quite sure what a driver it is. He even overtook a car, a back marker, coming into the pit there. It was in front of the line though, so I don't know if there's any ruling for that, but they don't want to lose any time behind that driver coming into the pit entry. But
yeah, I mean, as long as it's a safe maneuver and no contact is made. Yeah.
I will believe that he did lose some time over it, but we're gonna see. Will Andres come in at the end of this current lap? We'll see. It's also Tony Blanco, if I'm right, that's into the pit lane as well. And that puts Morgan Thompson into P2 and... no, sorry, I think I was mistaken. I think it's Tony Blanco currently in P3 behind Morgan Thompson. So Phil, can you see who still have to make their stop? Of course, it's Fernandez, Thompson,
Yeah.
Blanco, Santabaya as well.
The top four still need to pit. I think we got Edward Lack, Chris Needham still to pit, Duncan Kirby, Daniel Merchant, Matthew Hodges, Miles Owens as well. And then everybody else is boxed at some point of the race.
Interesting, Martel decided to pit early than Fernandez, because I think pretty sure in all the races they've pitted exactly the same time, haven't they? On the same lap.
I think
pretty much.
Marco Prada's going to get the move done there on Adam Southgate. They said it right that time.
And Fernandez is coming into the pits, but he's behind Ben Charlton, and he decides not to overtake the car in front. So the question is, did he lose some time coming into the pit as well? Looks like both him and Martel just had that unfortunate car in front of them, so they couldn't maximize their pit entry. Nice battle there between Benjamin Johnson and Setchley for P5 in the AMs.
The Helihuren's gone off track again.
So let's have a little look where Ismael Martel on track is. He's coming onto the main straight while Fernandez is coming out of the pit.
Top four are in.
So Fernandez is now going through turn 1. Oh, and there was a spin, but he keeps it out of the wall. So the gap pretty much seems to be the same, about 2 seconds, I'm guessing. Of course, Fernandez will be on some colder tires, as Martel already has that temp, or has them up to temp. So it's going to be quite interesting the last, say, 17 minutes of the race.
And there you see, Tony Blanco's overtaken Morgan Thompson. Moves himself up into P3, so that was a smart move to make that early pit stop. And Charlton there just getting out these two guys' way as they still fighting for position. Both currently on a podium spot with Chris Needham just lurking behind them. Well, that's Kieran Smart actually. Let's see how far Chris is. He's not actually all that far behind, so yeah, you never know. The opportunity may still come up. Got plenty of Santibaya fans. He's like his own football club.
Oh, that reminds me of football tonight, isn't there? It's all returning to normal.
Yeah, Daniel Sedgley got that move done there on Ben Johnson. Puts himself up now into P2 in the AMS. Kieran Smart as well, just lurking there behind. Currently sat in P4 after that earlier accident. Managed to get his car all nice and shiny and new after using his free fast repair.
So Martel is now just a second behind Fernandez after his earlier spin or off. So looking at the lap times, he seems to be constantly lapping around half a second, 4 tenths along those lines each lap. So could well be in the next 3 laps we're going to be seeing them tangling for the lead with a bit of luck. The Santibaya has got quite a lead in the amateurs, currently leading in 6th place, which is an excellent overall result as well. With Daniel Sedgley in 2nd, so be the first person in the amateurs to take 2 wins of the season.
And
It had to happen at some point, I guess.
Well, something
true.
else to notice as well. I think it's the first race of the season, but it seems like we got more foreign drivers than Spanish drivers into the top 10.
Oh yeah, normally it's a completely
Spanish
Espanol.
knockout in the pros. It's normally in the
knockout.
pros, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, and I think one of the followers of Kieran Smart says something in chat as well. It is a great recovery from Kieran Smart, but yeah, he pitted early, so I'm totally agreeing with you that let's hope that he does have enough fuel. He's currently on the back of Matt Acton though. Well, it does seem that Martel was reeling in Fernandez. I'm also noticing that René Bosche dropped back to P11 in the AM, so I'm not quite sure if that was due to the pit stops or that he may had a longer stop, because Juri Papanevis is now in 9th. And we know he was fighting for position with him earlier, before the stop, so he may lost out a little bit. They were watching Duncan Kirby driving behind Jelle Pieter Hoogland. It's almost if they were going through the same turn, wasn't it, if you look at the webcams?
Yeah.
Benjamin Johnson, though, still half second behind Setchley as well for the P2 in the AMs. And there is this Fernandez going a bit wide into the last turn, coming onto the main straight. It looked like Martel had a better run coming out of it, but it seems that he's choosing to stay behind him for now.
Fernandez goes defensive around the first corner. Manages to still hold on to the position.
Well, are we up for another 10-minute battle between the two? That will be quite nice to see, although we can't forget the other drivers on track as well, in all fairness. Seems that Dennis Meisner is also having a nice little battle with Miles Owens. And we're seeing Ruiz dropping back a couple of positions.
So, up front with the two leaders in the Pro, Fernandez and Martel, only 3 tenths behind now. So as predicted, it's going to make it an interesting last 10 minutes.
I'm not quite sure what happened with Carlos Ruiz in the meantime. I think he was driving in the top 5 of the AMs, but it seems like he's dropping back positions. And we see Jelle Pieter Hoogland going for another stop, so he probably stopped earlier because of damage and now has to stop for his second one. And Acton and Kieran Smart having a nice little battle as well. Flat Out Sim Sport, and I'm not quite sure, Phil, what's the team of Kieran Smart?
I believe it's a privateer.
Well, he's doing a great job. He's having a really nice scrap there. He seems to be taking the position from Matt Acton as well. So he puts himself into P5. Now it's going to be interesting. Fernandez and Marcel coming up to the back markers. Fernandez flashing his lights there to make sure that they know. Thinking that they've got their relative boxes up, they probably will see that the leaders are coming through. It seems like that one of them at least is letting both through, so that's what we want to see. Very good. No losses there.
Be interesting if Martel can take advantage of a bit of slower traffic up front.
Well, yeah, definitely. On the other hand, though, what was quite interesting to see earlier when Fernandez went very wide into the last turn, he still decided to stay behind Fernandez, where I think Martel had the opportunity to go for the move. So maybe he's like, well, let me just stay behind you, and somewhere in the last lap maybe, or the last 2 laps, I'll go for the overtake. We see in the meantime Tin Rutte and Juri Pepijn-Evers being in the pit as well. It is quite interesting to see.
And Martel going wide at the final corner before the start finish straight.
So he did lost a little bit. Looking back to what happened to Carlos Ruiz, I think he had an internet connection issue and the received throughput fell to an acceptable level. So that's very unfortunate. Lucky for the others who gained a free position out of it. Another back marker trying to move out of the way there, but gave Fernandez a little bit of breathing space. Then again, we still got 8 minutes of racing to go, so a lot can be done. In the meantime, we still got the battle for P2 as well on the AMs between Setchley and Johnson. I think Setchley is a flat-out Sim Sport TV driver against Venomworks. Power of the BMW against the balanced Porsche RSR. Well, it seemed like Sedgley went a little bit too wide there. Got Johnson right up his rear now. And in the meantime, Fernando is still leading the race. About half a second in front of Martel, and he's coming up to 2 other back markers again. So far he was lucky with the back markers, or in other words, the back markers were doing best possible job they could do to stay away from this lead battle.
Miles Owens just has another spin. Not his day here, losing a little bit of traction there on the rear end of the car and just spinning himself around. Let's go back on board with this battle with the leaders.
Just working their way through some more
Oh,
traffic.
and Martel nearly lost the car there.
Oh, power
He was
slide.
going on the outside of a back marker and just took a little bit too much speed into I think that's turn 5 if I'm correct. So again, that gives Fernandez more breathing space. He's now just over a second in front of Martel. Just overtaken another back marker as well. So he's got some clear track now in front. Martel did a good job though to keep the car on track, but he lost time. That's one thing for sure.
But realistically, he's got 3 laps to do it. It's borderline, isn't it? Even if he's lapping him 4 tenths ahead, he's still got to get past him.
Here we
So
see
while
Augustin Blanco just towing his teammate around Santa making sure he gets that first place.
Well, there's no bonus points for fastest lap, so...
No, that is true.
A little bit of a luck up there though by Blanco. One of the few battles still going on track though, as said earlier, is Benjamin Johnson against Sedgley, or Daniel Sedgley, to be fair, or P2. Daniel Sedgley for Flat Out Sim Sport TV, having a great race so far. May have jinxed it now, but I think apart from this battle on track, it's fairly spread out. Martel now 1.4 seconds behind Fernandez.
Thank you for the follow, Tristan Potters.
Cheers.
I think we got 2.5 laps left to go of the race. So he's going to have to start thinking about making this move soon, as Benjamin Johnson is still, well, he's actually closed the gap a little bit more now, so it's just down to 0.3 of a second.
It just looks like actually went a little bit too wide into turn 2, where Johnson had a great line and just closed that gap down quite quickly. They'll essentially have to sustain that pressure, keep it going. Martel again though, closing the gap down again to about a second. Indeed, we've got 2 laps left. It's Benjamin Johnson who's really trying to put the pressure on there. Then we'll come up to the chicane. Oh, and that's Sedgley. Wow, I'm not quite sure what happened there. He just,
Oof. It was the grass, I think.
well, he was full on the grass, so I'm not quite sure if he was looking at something else, but or maybe some hardware failure for a little second. But
Yeah, that was a very odd one. Just just seemed to dive onto the grass, and yeah, you can't really say he didn't break on the grass. That was
No, it seemed like a little bit of hardware failure. This is very unfortunate for Satchley there, Daniel Satchley, but I think he still is running in P3 though. But it was a weird one.
Here we go then, we're almost up to the final lap of the race for these two drivers, so I'm not too sure Martel's going to get any move done with the current gap, considering Fernandez has been an outstanding driver all season as well, so these two have just been trading firsts and seconds all season.
Put the brakes on, put the brakes on, this is another lap.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
They're going to have to do another lap. Did he cross? Yeah, he must have crossed the line literally on the 45.
Yeah, they did I think the timing line is quite close to coming out of the last turn, so...
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah. Then again, Fernandez just needs to hit his lines. Don't make any mistakes. He is coming up to at least one back marker, maybe two on this lap. So... let's hope for him it doesn't play into effect. On the other hand, Martel probably will be hoping that it does a little bit. But so far, it seems like Fernandez is doing a good job to stay in front of Martel. And I think we see a last lap battle between Kenneth Andresen and Juri Pepijn Evers as well for P11 in the AMs. Kenneth Andresen about a 10th behind Juri Pepijn Evers, but we stay on the battle for the front runners, Fernandez and Martel. Fernandez again flashing his lights to the back marker, just to make sure I'm here, let me through.
Yeah, you do start to panic when you're in this position and you see a back marker in front of you. You don't want to lose that place. Back markers have been nice and respectful as well.
Yeah, they really did a great job so far during this race, must be said as well. Oh, and there we see Martel missing his braking point quite hard. And just launches straight through. Again, he still does a great job keeping his car on track. I think it will give him a slowdown. But yeah, that means Fernandez coming across the line, finishing in P1 for this race. So congratulations to Fernandez and Martel finishing in P2. And then, I mean, look at that. We have to wait 28 seconds for P3 to arrive.
So the good thing for Fernandez is he manages to cut the lead to 3 points. So Martel will still be our leader tonight.
Is it only 3 points?
It will be, yeah.
Wow, that's quite interesting for the remainder of the season. And there we go. Blanco finished in P3. And I think that was Agustin Ferro Blanco, if I'm correct.
There we go. Santabella flashing his lights, takes the win for the second time of the season.
With a great 6th place overall as well.
Yeah, that is a great finish for him. Edlac finishing in P6 in the Pro category for CXR Project Black. Ben Johnson finishing in P2 in the AM class for Venom Works. Adam Southgate and Chris Needham crossing the line in P3. That was so
sneaky.
He's overtaken Daniel Sedgley on that last lap because of that weird incident. Yeah, we're gonna have to find out what happened there.
Yeah, we definitely do. Matt Acton finishing in P5 in the AM. Duncan Kirby managed to finish in P9 in the pros, and I do think he was involved in that first lap incident as well, so great job again by Duncan.
Daniel Merchant crosses the line, flashing his lights with Rene Borschke not too far behind. Where's Matt Hodges?
I think Rene Borschke will be quite happy though. Finishing in a good P7 in the AMs. I think Hodges is coming across the line now, if I'm correct. There we go.
Was Kieran Smart run out of fuel, or has he already finished? He has run out of fuel, I believe.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. That's what we're talking about. That's
yeah,
what,
it was mentioned earlier, wasn't it?
It was what got no fans said as well. Let's hope he has enough fuel, but it seems to be that he didn't. He came 1 lap short.
God.
And I think he's even on the right little kink before the chicane, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, going uphill doesn't work when you're low on fuel.
No, it sure doesn't. So those guys in a little bit of a parade lap.
So, for the race results in the AM category, we've got Juan Santabaya in P1, Ben Johnson P2, Chris Needham P3, Daniel Setchley P4, Matt Acton P5, Daniel Merchant P6, René Bosche P7, Matthew Hodges P8, Kieran Smart P9, Arnaud Chanonier P10, Yuri Pepijn Evers P11, Jason Hennington P12, Kenneth Andresen P13, Dennis Meisner P14, Miles Owens P15, P16 Damien Shave, and P17 Ben Charlton. And I think we still got 3 more to go for Tim Rutten P18, Carlos Ruiz P19, Pablo Prado P20, and Jonas Gillissen P21.
GT Pros winner tonight, Andres Fernandez. Ismael Martel second, Tony Bianco third, Morgan Thompson fourth, Augustin Blanco fifth, Edward Latkins sixth, Adam Southgate seventh, Jose Caballero eighth, Duncan Kirby ninth, Hele Holland 10th, Marco Suazo 11th, Benitez in 12th, Jamie Ferrero had that instant early doors in 13th.
So there we go. So next week we are at Sebring International. So next Wednesday, same time, 8:15 if you're in the UK, 9:15 if you're in Europe. And other times are available for the rest of the world, but I'm not going to read them all out.
I was going to say, what are the other time zones?
Yeah, so for Australia, that would be about 2 a.m. No, it's going to be later than that. We'll be back for Sebring, then we followed by Monza the week after, and then rounded out at Daytona. Just want to thank all the drivers, all race control, both Ruben and Mark on the commentary team tonight, and all of the viewers as well for watching the stream. We will catch you next week. Hope everyone has a good week, and see you later.
Yeah. Cheers for the new followers and for the new subscribers as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye bye.